Okay, so I'm going to go over a video on how easily it is for someone to exploit your system. So I will be playing the role of the victim and the attacker with two separate systems. The victim is a Windows 7 box, and then the attacker is going to be using a Kali Linux box. So after this video, we're gonna do 5 things. We will get a shell on the victim system, which basically means we'll have complete control over their system. We're gonna obtain all the passwords that are stored on the Windows 7 box. We're gonna then download a secret file that is stored on the Windows 7 box. We're going to create a new user on the victim system, and we're going to give that new user admin rights, so then we could log on to the Windows 7 box whenever we wanted. So I'm using VMware to do all this in, so it's not actually hacking real systems, it's all on a virtual network. So here you can see I have regular Windows 7, no one's logged on right now. And then I have my Kali box. Okay, so we're going to be using something called Metasploit. It's a framework that is already on Kali systems. Basically, someone already wrote all the code to exploit other people's systems, and you just have to use this module. So it's kind of easy. You can see Metasploit gives us a funny little ASCII art. So we are going to be using the exploit EternalBlue, which a lot of people, it's all in the news, a lot of people have heard about it. We're going to set the local host to our IP address of our Kali system. Then we are going to set the remote host to going to be the Windows 10 box, which is the system we are going to attack. We're going to set the payload. And now we're going to do the exploit. So we're going to use an extension called Kiwi, which is just some more code that helps us do some cool things. So because we already have our exploit and our payload, we're already into their systems, we can use Kiwi, use creds all. And just by doing that, we have all the passwords to the users on the Windows system. We can see that there's a user named Mimo, Dory, Marlon, Bruce, and we can see all their passwords. So even though you have a really long or strong password, it's still super easy to get that information. So now we're gonna actually go into the Windows 7 box from our Kali. So we're still on our Kali system, but we can still look through files and look through the whole Windows 7 system, even though we aren't actually physically in front of the system. So by hitting the command shell, you can see that the command line now changed to like C, the directory C Windows/system32, because that's where we're at. So I'm just going to set our directory onto the users. So you can see those are all the users' profiles right there. I'm going to go into the Zathras profile. And you can see that we have to use Windows commands now instead of Linux commands because we're not in our Kali box anymore. We're on the Windows desktop. So here we can see that just by looking around at the files on this system that we got access to, we see, oh, look, there's a secret text file, like a text file that has secret information, like, you know, a malicious user is going to want to know what's in there. So we're going to download that file onto our Kali system so then we can later look at it and see what's on it. It must be something good. So we're going to exit out of the Windows shell and go back to Metasploit. And then we're just going to download that file. So then if I go to my files on my Kali system, you can see that the file is right there. So now I can look at that, do whatever I want with that information. I have it that easily. So now I'm going to go back into the Windows shell and I'm going to add a new user to their system and give the user, so I'm going to create the user Catherine and give that user the password of password1bang. So that just creates a regular user onto the system, but I want the user Catherine to have admin privileges, so I can also do that. So now I created an account on the Windows. So we can now see that there's a user on their system named Catherine, and I can type in my password. And now you can see that we successfully logged on to their system because we created the user. So that's about it. Thanks, guys.